Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Basico ServiceNow Learning. So in today's video we are going to explore catalog client script and we will also do a practical implementation of the same. So let's begin. So what is a catalog client script? So catalog client script is a JavaScript code which executes when user orders an catalog item, okay, and catalog client script executes on a client side. There are three types of catalog client scripts: onload, onChange, and onSubmit. Okay, so if we are talking about like a difference between a catalog client script and a client script, so the difference is that in catalog client script we have three types of client scripts, but in a client script actually we have four types, that is onload, onChange, onSubmit, and onSellEdit. And the second difference is that catalog client scripts only executes on catalog items or a variable sets, right? But a client script executes on a specific table such as like incident, problem, change, etc. and etc. right? When we write a client script, then we select a table, that on what table we want to execute, but this catalog client script will execute only for a catalog item for which we are writing code for it. So let's do a practical implementation and understand the concept of a catalog client scripts, all of the three types in detail, and we'll do a scripting for any specific use case. Okay, so let's navigate to my ServiceNow personal developer instance. So friends, this is my ServiceNow personal developer instance. So here we are going to implement a use case. So let's see a use case also. The use case for today is that below customization has to be done in demo SR catalog item. Okay, so there is a catalog item in a service catalog. The name of the catalog item is demo SR catalog item. So below is the requirement which we have to customize in that particular demo SR. So here in this video I am going to implement customizations for all the three types of catalog client scripts, like onload, onChange, and onSubmit. So for onload, what we are going to implement, that logged in username should be populated in requester field along with email and business phone number of a requester. So let's first open the service catalog item and then we will see that what all changes we want to do there. Okay, so here let's navigate to service catalog. In self-service we have service catalog. Okay, and in the hardware we have this service catalog items where we are going to do some customizations. So see, here we have a form, okay, where we have lots of fields. So as per the first requirement, logged in username should be populated in requester field along with email and business phone number of a requester. Means this requester name, email ID, and business phone number will get populated once the user opens this particular form. Now a second requirement is of onChange, that on the change of a requester, email and phone number will get changed accordingly. Let's say if the requester name is given over here and user changes the requester name, then email ID and business phone will get auto populated or updated automatically. Now the third requirement is onSubmit catalog client script, that is requirement field value cannot be null on submission. Means if we are submitting the form or we are ordering a form, then that requirement field value cannot be null, means user has to select any of the value from it. The second requirement is that from date cannot be greater than of to date. Means if user is giving a date over here, from date to till date, for which the laptop has been assigned to a user, then from date will not be greater than to a to date. So these requirements we have to cater through catalog client script. Okay, so let's see how we can implement it. So to implement the requirement, what we have to do, we have to type a maintain item over here, and then we have to search this catalog item demo SR. I am opening this maintain item in a new tab where we have see demo SR catalog item. So I am opening this catalog item form from here. See, in the below we have a rated list where we have options called variables, variable set, catalog UI policies, catalog client scripts, okay, and lots of other options like catalog categories. So today we are going to explore this section, that is catalog client script. From here we can create a new catalog client script. So I am clicking on new. See, once we click on new, so in this form we have a section such as script where we can write a script as well. So here I am going to write a first requirement, that is onload. Okay, so I am saying giving name over here, you can give any name, onload client script. Then where you want to apply as to, you want to write it for a catalog item or a variable set. So I'm saying for a catalog item. Active is checked. UI tab you can select accordingly. Then application, then type. See, all the three types are displaying over here. So I'm going to write a onload client script. Then we have a demo SR catalog item that is selected, the catalog item for which we are writing this script. Then if you want to apply it on a requested item or catalog task, you can click on the checkbox as well. But currently I'm writing this code for a catalog item view, so that's why this particular checkbox is checked. So on load, what we want, a requester name, email and phone number will get display. So requester name of a logged in user. So we can get a logged in user name, we can get through a g_user object, right, from glad user class. So I'm saying g_user dot get full name. So this particular syntax will provide me a full name of a logged in user. So what I will do, I will populate this in a field that is requester. So I will open the form also so that we can get the name of a variable. So here the name of a variable of a requester is, where we want to populate the details, that is requester_name. Okay, so I am going to write here g_form dot set value, that is in this field I want to set the value of a logged in user name. So this syntax will populate the logged in user name. Now we want a email and a phone number of a requester. So that information we will get from a user table. Okay, because requester details are populated in a user table. So just a second, I'm just opening a user table to give you a brief understanding for the same. So here in the organization we have users. See, that is sys_user table. I am opening any of a user, let's say able tutor. Okay, see, so from here we can get this business phone number and we can get email ID. So for that, what we have to do, we have to write a glide record for the same. So here, let's say, so here we are going to write a code. Now where req gr is equals to new record, and we are writing this for sys_user table so that we can get a value of a requester from a user table. Okay, so now what we will do, we will do a add query, or we will perform a query. So we will perform query from a sys_id, because from g_user or from a glide user table we can also get a sys_id of a user. So let's say req gr dot add query, then I am saying sys_id, and in this, from this syntax g_user dot user id, I can get a sys_id of a user. Okay, now gr dot query, and I am saying, okay, I am saying req gr dot just a second, here I have to write while req gr dot next, if there is a record, or while there is a record, then it will perform the task which we want the script to be performed. So here I am saying that I want a record which needs to be filled on field called set value, and field is phone. So the field of phone is business phone, and email ID is the field of email. Okay, so here I'm going to write just a second, like this. I'm saying here, I'm saying this req gr object dot, and I'm saying phone. I believe just a second, here I want this value, right, business phone, that is phone, email is email. Okay, so here phone, that is okay, it will give us the phone value. And now let's write a code to populate email field. Okay, set value, then we have email, I believe that field name is email ID. Okay, email ID, and then we need to fill this dot email. Okay, now we are done with the code. Let's save the code and let's see. Okay, so now let's navigate to a catalog item and load the form. Let's see whether the code is working or not. So I click on this. See, when the form loads, all the information, requester name, email ID and business phone get populated. Okay, so in this way we have written the onload client script. Now we have to fulfill the second requirement. The second requirement is onChange. OnChange is basically on the change of requester, email and business phone number will get changed accordingly. Means that if we change the requester from here, let's say if I have selected Abraham Lincoln, then the email ID and phone number will update accordingly to the requester name automatically. Okay, so for that what I'm going to do is that I'm going to write another code that is onChange client to script. So I'm going over here, I'm saying okay this. So here I'm saying onChange client script. You can give any name over here. Now what we have to do, we have to select the types. That's I have selected onChange. Once I click, so here the new field gets appear, that is variable name. So in variable name I will find all the variable names over here. So I will select the variable name of that field where we want that when the user change the value on that field, then the code will get executed. So let's say as per the requirement, we have to select the requester name, that when the requester name get changed, then the code will get executed. So whatever code we have to write over here. So what I will do, I will copy some of the code from onload here and I will paste that code over here. Okay, because anyhow we need to perform a query on a sys_user table, because we need a phone and email from the sys_user table. So here what I'm going to do is that I need a sys ID of a user. Okay, because this will not work, because this g_user will work only for the logged in user. But here if we change the value to some other user, let's say Abraham Lincoln, so Abraham Lincoln is not a logged in user, so it means glad user properties or classes or method will not work over here. Okay, so when the user change the value, then I want that sys ID of that user will be stored in a specific variable. So I'm saying g_form dot get value, and then I'm saying the field name is requester name. Okay, see, and I'm saying that store that sys ID in a specific variable requester sys ID. Okay, so friends, when we are getting a value from a reference field, then it always give back a sys ID of that user. Okay, if we are talking about like in terms of multi-line text, single line text, then it will give the value which is populated in a field, but in terms of reference field it will give us a sys ID of that user. Okay, so now this is giving me a sys ID of a user. So what I will do, I will copy this sys ID variable over here and I will paste this variable over here. It means whatever sys ID I am getting from here will perform a query over here, sys ID and the sys ID which I am getting from here, and the code is done. Let's save it. So now let's execute the script again to see whether changes is done or not. See, I am just loading the page again. Now this Abraham Lincoln will change to system administrator automatically, because the form onload client script will work. See, now if I change the value to some other user, let's say Apple tutor, now see this email ID get changed, business phone number will get changed. It means onChange client script is getting executed on the change of a particular field. So I believe now you have an understanding of a onload and onChange. Now the third requirement is that onSubmit. That onSubmit, what we want, the requirement field value cannot be null or none on submission, and the from date field cannot be greater than a to date. So now we are going to write a third one, demo catalog item. Okay, so here we have two already available. Now I'm writing the third one, that is onSubmit client script. So here everything is same. What I have to select, I have to select the type. I have selected onSubmit. Now I have to write the, so here we have to write the code for a onSubmit. So what I'm going to do is that I'm navigating over here, I'm tapping maintain item so that I can open that request and see the variable names from here. Okay, so here we have variables. So I have to write the code for this requirement, and from date and to date. The name of the fields are requirement, from underscore date to underscore date. Okay, so let's navigate to the section where we have to write the code onSubmit onChange. So here we have to write the code. So let's say requirement cannot be null, so I need to fetch a value from there. So I'm saying g underscore form dot get value from what field? Requirement field. Requirement, right? So what it will do, it will give us a values which is selected in a drop down in a requester field here. Okay, so if it is none, or if it is none means blank, then what will happen? It will give us an error message and not allow the form to be submitted. Okay, so I'm saying none, so I'm saying it will show us a error message, the underscore form dot add error message, please select requirement hardware. Okay, see here, means we will force a user to select a value from here, requirement. Okay, now we also have to write a code for from date and to date. Okay, so now proceed further. I'm saying return false. So return false is basically is that whenever the code enters in if block, then the form will not get submitted because it is returning a false from here. Now I'm saying else if to date and from date. So it means we need to fetch the values from the to date field and the from date field. So I'm fetching the value and storing in a variable. From that get value from to underscore date field and storing it in a variable. Let's say variable name is variable to date. And here what I'm going to do same where from date equals to g underscore form dot get value and from the field from underscore date. Okay, see I have already showed that from where we can the variable values we can get from here, like from underscore date to underscore date, right? So here I have written from underscore date and to underscore date. So now these two variables will having a values what the user have given in that particular form. Now so I'm saying if, so now as per as requirement from date will not be greater than to date. Okay, so if it is greater, then it will display as a message that g underscore form dot add error message that from date value cannot be greater than of to date, right? And along with this, what we will do, we will also add this particular scenario. Let's see here, so that some permutation and computation. Okay, because user can perform any scenario. Add error, underscore form dot add error message, the same message we want, or we can directly copy from here this particular code. Okay, so what happen if user select the values requirement as none and from date is greater than to date, then this particular code will execute, means it will throw both the messages that the value is null and the from date is greater than the to date. Okay, and it will not allow to submit the form. So if interviewer asks that how you want on the submission, if you don't want to submit the form, what you will do, you have to say that we have to return false. Now the next scenario can be that there is a requirement data but from date is greater than the to date, then what will happen? Okay, so else if so in this section it is blank, but in another scenario I can say that if it is not blank, right? So I will copy this and I'll mark it as not equals to blank and from date to date, then it will not allow to submit the form, but the error message could be this. Okay. In this way we are done with this code on submit. So as per as the scenario, if requirement is blank, then it will give us an error message. In case if the requirement is blank and the from date is greater than to date, then this code will get executed. And the third scenario, a requirement is not blank but the date given in the from date is greater than the to date, then this will get executed. Okay, so let's save it and now let's navigate to the SR and click on here. So here on the form load, the first requirement is fulfilled. The second requirement will get fulfilled on the change of this, right? We already demoed the same. Now if user is not selecting the requirement and he is clicking on order now, see, user is not able to submit the form. It is giving him an error message. Okay, so if user is selecting laptop, so if the user is giving a from date as 20 and the to date is 14, so it means to date is less than this from date, and user click on order now, see, it is giving error message that from date value cannot be greater than of to date. It means user is not able to submit the form if from date is greater than of to date. Okay, so let's say if user is giving a correct date, let's say it's 19 and now here I am giving 28 and user click on order now, see, request has been submitted. So friends, in this way we can write a onSubmit client script, onChange client script and onload client script. So friends, this is basically a basic understanding of catalog client script. So I believe now you can understand that when we have to write a onload, when we have to write a onChange, and when we have to write a onSubmit client script. After this video I will going to post a catalog UI policies concept, that how that particular concept will work. Okay, so friends, if you have not subscribed my channel yet, please do subscribe my channel and please provide your comment in a below comment box. Please like and share, because your activities of liking, sharing and commenting is basically a motivational kick for me. Thank you friends, have a nice day, bye bye. Please do not forget to subscribe my channel. Bye bye friends.